Hello students, today we will discuss quantum numbers. So to understand quantum numbers, focus on this diagram. In this diagram, I have represented nucleus in the center and around the nucleus, electron density. This is the region of higher density and this is the region of lower density. Okay. So one thing you should know that despite of so much density, all electrons around the nucleus have their unique properties, okay, have their unique identities. So if you want to talk about a particular electron, you have to specify that electron first. Okay, now what is the role of quantum number? What is quantum number? So quantum number is a set of numbers by using which we can get all information about the electron, okay, which is needed to specify that electron. So this is the role of quantum number. This is the quantum number. Now to know more about the quantum number, let's take an example. Suppose we want to find a particular person in the world. Okay, so what will we do first? First of all, we have to find the country. Okay, so first we will find the country. After knowing the country name, will it be enough? No. After knowing the country name, we have to find out the city to which he belongs, because country name will not enough, because every country is divided into many cities. And similarly, only city name will also not enough, because city is divided into many localities. So after knowing the city name, we have to find out the locality. And again, as every locality divided into many houses, so after knowing the locality, we have to find out the house number. And by following these steps, we can meet that particular person. Similarly, if you want to specify a particular electron, or you want to find out a particular electron, what will you do? First of all, you will find out the shell. Okay, it is like country. Okay, so first of all, you should know that what is shell. Shell is the planar area around the nucleus where electron can present. Okay, and you know about the representation that every orbit or shell is the same thing. Okay, every orbit or every shell represents by these alphabet K, L, M, N and so on, or by these numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on. That's why I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or K, L, M, N, O, P and so on here. Okay, so after knowing the shell, like city, you have to find out the subshell. Why? Because every shell is further divided into subshells. First of all, you should know what is subshell. Subshells are 4. Actually, subshells can be many, but we'll talk about only 4. Okay, which is S, P, D, F. Okay, so actually all the shells are further divided into subshells, so that's why we have to find out subshell after knowing the shell. As K subshell is divided into S subshell, L shell is divided into S and P subshell, M is divided into SPD, N divided into SPDF, and OPQ again SPDF. Okay, so this is the distribution. That's why we have to find out subshell after knowing the shell. Now, like locality, the subshell will also not enough. So after knowing the subshell, we have to find out the orbital. Why? Because every subshell is further divided into orbitals. First of all, what is orbitals? Orbital, definition of orbital we have already discussed. In this video, we will talk about the representation only. Okay, so orbital, we can represent a orbital like this square box. Okay, so as S subshell is divided into 1 orbital, P subshell is divided into 3 orbital, D subshell is divided into 5 orbital, and F subshell is divided into 7 orbital. So this is the distribution of orbitals in subshells. So that's why we have to find out orbitals after knowing the value of subshell. Okay. Now, as every orbital can contain two electrons like this, every orbital contain two electrons like this. One is of clockwise and second is of anti-clockwise spin. Okay. So after knowing the value of orbital, we have to find out the spin, because our electron can be of anti-clockwise direction spin, or sorry, clockwise direction spin or anti-clockwise direction spin. So that's why we have to follow these steps to find out the electron. First of all shell, after that subshell, after that orbital, and after that spin. Now how will we determine these? So for the determination of all these, we will use quantum numbers, as I told you. Okay. So there are four types of quantum numbers: principal quantum numbers, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. Okay. Principal quantum number is represented by small n, azimuthal quantum number is represented by small l, magnetic quantum number is represented by small m, or spin quantum number is represented by small s. So now we'll talk about the first quantum number, which is principal quantum number. So principal quantum number tells about the shell. Okay. So as we know that there can be 1 to infinity shells. Okay. So that's why the value of n can be 1 to infinity. Okay. As we know that there can be infinite orbitals around the nucleus. That's why the value of n can be 1 to infinity. Now we'll talk about the second. Second is azimuthal quantum number. So by using this quantum number, we can find out subshell. Okay. And it is represented by small n, and the value of L depends upon the value of n. Remember this, as the formula of L, or the value of L is equals to, this is the formula for L. Okay, you can calculate the value of L by using this formula: 0 comma n minus 1. Suppose you have the value of n 2, so for n equals to 2, 0 comma 2 minus 1, so 2 minus 1 will come 1, so your answer will be 0 comma 1 for L. Okay, so we will do this type of numerical later. Okay, so this is the second quantum number by using which we can calculate the subshell. Now after knowing subshell, we have to calculate orbital. So orbital we can find out by using third quantum number, which is magnetic quantum number, represented by L, and the value of m, and the value of m depends on the L, azimuthal quantum number. Okay, and the formula for m is minus L comma 0 comma plus L. Okay, so minus L2 plus L including 0 is the value of m. Now we'll talk about the spin. So if you want to determine the spin, you will use the fourth quantum number, which is spin quantum number, and represented by s. So as you know that in one orbital there can be two electrons, one is of a clockwise spin and second is of anti-clockwise spin. So that's why the possible values for s is are only two, plus half and minus half. This is obviously for clockwise direction, and this is for anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this is the short intro of quantum numbers. Now we'll understand the definitions. So what is quantum number? As I have already told you, that quantum number is the set of some numbers by using which we can get the full information about the electron. And there can be four quantum numbers: principal, azimuthal, magnetic, and spin. And representations are: principal by n, azimuthal by L, magnetic by m or ml, L is in the suffix, spin quantum number s or ms. Okay, so let's talk about the first, principal quantum number. So as we already discussed that it is represented by n, and the value of n can be 1 to infinity. Now these 3 points, read these 3 points. These are the information which can be provided by principal quantum number. Okay, so it provides, number one, the principal shell to which electron belongs. We know that if we have the value of n, suppose n equals to 3, so we know that from which principal shell our electron belongs. So first point is clear. Now second is energy of shell. So since E equals to 1312 divided by n2 square kilojoule per mole, so by knowing the value of n, you can calculate the energy of electron. So that's why we can say that n, which is principal quantum number, provides the information about the energy. Okay, similarly, formula of radius is r equals to 0.529 n square upon z. So here, if you have the value of n for a particular species, you can calculate the radius. So we can say that n can also provide the radius of shell. Okay, so this is all about the principal quantum number. Now second, azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number, I have already told you that it is represented by L, and the value of L depends upon the n, and it can be 0 to n minus 1. Okay, now we will read the information which azimuthal quantum number provides. Okay, so first information you have to remember. Okay, this is that value of L, if value of L is 0, then your subshell will be S. If you have the value of L, or L is given 1, then it is P subshell, and if the value of L is 2, then it will be D subshell, and if the value of L is 3, then it will be F subshell. Okay, so this point you have to remember. Now second point, so azimuthal quantum number provides the information about the number of subshell present in a principal shell. So suppose n equals to 1 is given, so by knowing the value of n, you can calculate the L. Okay, and after knowing the value of L, you know the possible subshell. As I told you that for 0, S subshell will be S. Okay, so L equals to 0 and possible subshell is S. So number of subshell possible is 1. Now if n equals to 2, okay, we are talking about the second orbit. So for second orbit, you can calculate the L. How you can calculate the L? By using the formula 0, n minus 1. Okay, so by using the formula 0, n minus 1, you will get 0, 1. And for 0, 1, from this table you can write for 0 S, and for 1 P. So sp suborbitals are possible for second orbit. Okay, so the total number of suborbit present 2. Now if n equals to 3, so again by using the formula 0, n minus 1, you will get 0, 1, 2. Okay, how? Like this, 0, n minus 1, so 0, 3 minus 1, so 0, 2, so 0, 1, 2. Okay, this is not your answer, this is the number of your answer. Okay, so 1, 2 you will write instead of 2, so you will get 0, 1, 2 for n equals to 3. Okay, so for n equals to 3, you will get 0, 1, 2, and again from this table, for 0 S, for 1 P, and for 2 D. Okay, so number of subshell possible 3. Again 4, so for 4 you can calculate 0, 1, 2, 3, and again from this table S, P, D, F, so total possible shells are 4. Okay, now the last point is, last information which provides by azimuthal quantum number is not last, second last. Angular momentum of the electron, as the formula of angular momentum is L equals to h by 2 pi under root L plus 1. So if you know the value of L, you can easily calculate the angular momentum. So we can say that azimuthal quantum number tells about the angular momentum. And the last point is shapes of subshell. So how it tells about the shape of subshells? Now you know one thing, that azimuthal quantum number can tell about the subshell, okay, from this table. And all the subshells have different structures, like S is spherical like this, P is dumbbell shaped like this. These are the different orientations, okay. Px, Py, Pz. As you know that in P, for P subshell there can be 3 orbitals, so that's why 3 representation. For S subshell there is only 1 orbital, that's why single representation. And for D, I have told you that D has how many orbitals? 5 orbitals, so that's why 5 representations, okay. And for F, I have not shown because it has a very complex structure, okay. So since angular momentum can tell about the subshell, and now we know the structure of all subshell, so we can say that azimuthal quantum number tells about the shape of subshells, okay. Third quantum number is magnetic quantum number, which is represented by L, okay, sorry, M, and the value of M depends upon the L. And formula for M is minus L to plus L including 0. So as we have already discussed that for M tells about the orbitals actually, okay. So if you have L equals to 0, so since the formula of M for the value of L is minus L 0 plus L, okay. So if L equals to 0, then M will equals to 0. And for 0 M, the subshell will has only single orbital, okay, because M is tells about the orbital, and here I have only one value of M, so definitely it will represent only one orbital. Now if L equals to 1, so from this formula you can write minus 1 0 plus 1. So now you have 3 orbitals. As you know that single value represents one orbital, okay, as I told you here, like this. If you have S suborbit, it will have only single orbital, and it will be shown by 0 only. And if we talk about the P subshell, it will have 3 orbitals of minus 1 0 plus 1. D will have minus 2 minus 1 0 plus 1 plus 2, and F will have minus 3 2 plus 3. So that's why for L equals to 1 we will have 3 orbitals. For L equals to 2, again from this formula, minus 2 minus 1 0 plus 1 plus 2. So D subshell has 5 orbitals, 1 2 3 4 5. Since 5 solutions are we are getting here, so that's why 5 orbitals. Now for L equals to 3, again we will get 7 orbitals, okay. So we can say that it informs about the number of orbitals, okay. Now next and last quantum number, spin quantum number. So as we already discussed that it has only two values, plus half and minus half. Plus half is for clockwise rotation and minus half is for anti-clockwise rotation, and it is represented by S or MS, okay. So you know about this. So I hope that quantum numbers is clear for you, and if you have any query, ask me, okay.